Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, oh my God, nothing else will do. I just want you, nothing else, hey, nothing else, yeah, nothing else will do. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else.
Thank God it's Thursday. Or thank God it's whatever day it is, whatever time it is that you're watching it. Thank God. I thank God that you're here. You're joining me. I hope you've been well. I hope you've been finding joy in wherever you've been doing. I hope you haven't been down. Shout out to my live youth group. Really enjoyed seeing your faces, seeing y'all on Sunday evenings for our movie nights. That's been wonderful. Talking to you on the Zoom calls. Appreciate you calling in, giving your insight. Shout out to my live youth that's been stepping out of their comfort zones with me. Been calling in on the prayer line on Saturday evenings. I am super blessed by you all's courage. And today I have another question, right? I'm trying to catch up. Y'all know this is new for me, right? So I'm trying to figure out what's the best. How do you listen to your music? That's what I know. I want to know what platform do you use? Do you use YouTube, Spotify, the just old school radio channel? So I'm having this conversation with a few young people. They told me Spotify is the thing to set your own. They set the platform they use to set their channel to listen to. So I was wondering how that works. I want to know. Do you set a channel? Like, do you listen to B97, Q93, or do you set your YouTube channel on the name of the genre, the jazz, or old school, or pop? How does it work? So they're telling me that on Spotify, you set your you listen to a playlist. Set the playlist up. It could be on an artist or a song, but you listen to playlists that's built, right? So it got me to thinking you wouldn't listen to your Beatles station. You expect to hear a certain kind of music, right? You might have some different artists, might not be all the Beatles, but you expect to hear a certain thing by what station or what playlist you're listening to, right? You wouldn't expect to put on your Beatles station and start hearing Tupac. Like that, that wouldn't go together, vice versa, right? You don't expect to turn on your Garth Brooks station and start hearing some New Orleans brass band music, right? So got me to thinking how that works. So I need to continue to expand my horizons. I like to be diverse, right? So, but back on the subject of setting your channel, I'm thinking about a common churchanese we like to say is set your mind on Christ. Maybe that works the same as setting your playlist Is that the same thing as setting your mind on Christ? How does that, those two things, those parallels, how do they tie together? How do you set your mind on Christ? That sounds good, but how do you do it? I want to read for you from my good mentor, Paul, told me in Colossians 3, 1 and 2 in the Christian Standard Bible. It says, so if you have been raised with Christ, seek the things above where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Set your minds on things above. I wonder if that's how you set your mind. You set your mind on things above, similar to how you set your radio on something. You expect certain things to come with it. So if you set your mind on things above, he goes on to say in Colossians 3, verse 5, therefore put to death what belongs to your earthly nature: sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desire, and greed, which is idolatry. If you don't know what idolatry is, it's not good. It's putting another idol ahead of God, right? So that's what that is making that other thing God to you, right? Sometimes idolatry is all these things it's talking about is really things inside of us, right? It's putting us in the place of God. When it talks about sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desire, greed, this is all things that is internal things that we deal with, right? So we're really making ourselves God over ourselves, right? So that's not what you want to set your mind on. If you want to be on God's channel, right? If you want to set your mind on Christ, it goes on to say in verse 12, chapter 3, verse 12 says, therefore, as God's chosen ones, holy and dearly loved, put on compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. So setting our minds on Christ means we're setting our minds on things above. It means that we expect to see when we set our minds on things above. If this was a radio channel, if this was a playlist, and you're setting yourself on Jesus's playlist, you expected to play things from above. Things like compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. It says, put on. I know I don't necessarily think you can go to the store and buy a pair of compassions, right? You can't go to what's my size in humility, right? But it says put it on almost like you're putting on clothes, right? So we look at athletes, right? We know right now they're getting into playing the NBA is in the bubble, right? They're still putting on their same shoes and jerseys, but I guess how many of you know the game is 80% mental, 20% physical? What does that mean? They're putting on a certain mindset, right? When you go into the sports arena, you put on a certain mindset. When you go into the boxing ring, you put on a mindset. Same way, like when you're going out and about, wherever you're headed, you have to put on compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, right? And patience. If I could come out with a pill that could give you patience, I would be a billionaire, right? One day, all it takes, maybe I'll find the formula. But I just want to leave y'all with that thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear you. I want y'all to put in the comments. I want y'all to call me on the Zoom call, text me. I want to know from you, all of you, my Alive Youth Group or my honorary Alive Youth Group members that's tuning in. No matter where you are, whether you're part of the Cornerstone, a member of Cornerstone or not, I want to know, and I want you to think also to yourself, how in your walk can you set your mind on Christ? How can you put on compassion and kindness and humility and gentleness and patience in this time, in this world that we're in right now? Because I know it is much needed. And I know that you're much needed in everything that you have to offer, that God has given you. the talents and the gifts that he's sown into you. I want to hear some ideas. And I want to hear some ideas and some good playlists, right? I want to hear some good playlists too, because I love music too, right? But also I want to leave you with one last thought. One last thought. It says in Psalms 37:4 in the Christian Standard translation of the Bible, take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. We had this conversation with my some young people. We had this conversation. We talked about what does it mean to take delight in the Lord. Hold up, let's ask Siri. Siri.
I'm listening.
Siri, what does delight mean?
As a verb, it means please someone greatly.
As
Do you want to hear the remaining one?
said, to please someone greatly. So we could say to please someone greatly. So take delight, take pleasure in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Let me tell you, as you continue to set your mind on Christ, as you commit to the things that are above as opposed to the things of the earth, you will grow and start delighting in the Lord, being pleased by your walk and your relationship with the Lord. And it says, and he will give you your heart's desires. Let me tell you what I learned from Chandler Moore, right? I got to come back to it. He gave me a perspective on this verse that I'm adopting this perspective. I'm no theologian. Maybe it might not be exactly right. I don't know, but I love it. It says, take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Well, he will give you your heart's desires, better yet. What if this doesn't mean if you delight in the Lord, he'll give you what you want? What if this means if you delight in the Lord, he will show you what to want. He'll give you the desires of what you should want. As opposed to giving you what you want, he'll show you what to want, right? Because I'm finding in my daily walk, the more I delight in the Lord, not only my will is starting to line up with his will, my desires are starting to line up with his desires, right? And I'm taking delight in it. And I want you to find ways not only to set your mind on Christ, not only how to put on compassion and kindness and love and gentleness, but also delight in the Lord so that he can show you what to want. That's all I got for you this evening. I'm glad you're here. Thank God it's Thursday. Thank God you're here with me. I hope to see you soon. I hope you come out and check us out on Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock. We're doing a movie night. We got a couple of more episodes of Chosen that we're working through. Of course, we'll be wearing masks. Of course, let's social distance, let's stay safe, let's stay healthy, let's stay well as possible. But most importantly, let's draw closer to Christ. Let's draw others closer to Christ as well, right? Go and make disciples, right? So it's been a pleasure. See you next week. I'll be praying for you. Make sure, please, I plead you, make sure, be praying for me. All right, y'all have a good one. Good night.
All I want, I just want you. Nothing else. Oh yeah. Nothing else. Nothing else to do. I just want you. Nothing else. Nothing. Nothing else to do. I know this is a weird place to do an altar call, but if you feel the Lord pulling you just to the altar as a sign of returning back to him, this altar is open. And as we just dive deeper, as we dive deeper, for these next just couple 60 seconds, I just want you to put on your mind the thing, whether it's a job, a career, an ideal life, or a relationship, the thing that has gotten in the way of you just wanting him. See, a lot of times I had encounter with the Lord a couple days ago, and it wrecked me, because a lot of times we make this just wanting him so complicated. And the Lord revealed to me that I was living in like an almost anxiety, like decision-making type thing, to where like every decision I'm like, Lord, is this what you want? Lord, is this what you want? Like, am I doing this right? Am I doing it? And what he said to me was like, Chandler, he said, if you just want me, everything else will be filtered through your desires for me. And I want to help free some of you, especially you young people. We can live such a life almost of trying to, because we want to be righteous, because we want to live pure, because we want to be holy, we almost start trying to live in perfectionism. And so much anxiety and worry and stress and frustration can come with that, because you're too busy trying to want things alongside him instead of just wanting him and filtering everything through him. In Psalms, he says, I will give you the desires of your heart. A lot of us look at that like, okay, he's going to give me what I want. No, he's going to give you what to want. He's not saying, yeah, if you want this, I'm just going to give it to you. No, he's saying, if you delight in me, I'm going to fix it so if you just want me, I'm going to tell your heart what to want. So you don't have to live in anxiety and worry about is this job right? Is this relationship right? Am I at the right church? You put your focus on him. And the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. He will lead you. So I just feel like the Lord just wants us to pause and take 60 seconds to put your mind on that thing that's in the way of you wanting him.